Hi everyone, it's Mike with Living Wisconsin. I want to thank you for watching. We are in the North Woods of Wisconsin and we are doing some rustic camping. So, I'm going to cover some do's, don'ts, show you some gear that you might want to take with you on your trip. Let's check it out. The first thing when you get to a campsite, you're going to want to pick a good spot for your tent, and you're going to need a tent. Pick a good one, something that's durable, something you can tie down, and the wind's not going to take it away on you. You also want to watch that weather forecast. If it is going to be rainy, make sure that this thing can stand up to the wind. Now, this is a really big tent. It's a 12-person tent. I personally love extra space in the tent. I don't like cramped spaces. I like to move around. I can't even hardly touch the ceiling of this in the center. So, cabin style tent. Moving on from the tent, you're going to see tiki torches. Now, you don't have to have these, but camping in July, excuse me, you are going to have some mosquitoes. Citronella oil really helps out, especially around the tent. You don't want a bunch of bugs inside your tent, especially the mosquitoes. Yeah, you get it. All right, moving on. We are looking at, I brought a grill. It's always a backup. If you want to cook on the open fire, that's fantastic. Charcoal has a container, again, in case if it rains. Always plan for the worst case scenario. A little bit of lighter fluid, again, more tiki torches, especially around where you're cooking. I have an area set up for all the cooking utensils, and a garbage bag. A garbage bag that's way far away from where I plan on eating. So, these critters, they're going to probably be interested in what's in there daily. So at the end of the day, take a walk to the local trash area and dispose of it. So we also have a fogger. Talking about those mosquitoes. This thing works fantastic. There's a lot of different brands out there. Pick the one that you'd like. But, I fogged this site, and when I first got here, this mosquitoes were swarming. Not so much anymore. So, well worth the investment. Moving on, we have a couple of axes, a hatchet and an axe, obviously for chopping up your firewood. Moving on to the picnic table area, we're going to possibly do some eating. I have beverages, be here for a few days, so brought enough drinks. I have Tupperware. I wouldn't call it Tupperware. I have storage totes, I guess is what it's called. Everything's labeled. I would highly suggest labeling everything. This one's cookware and power inverter. I have a couple other ones that we'll see in the walk around here. But totes, big deal. Really helps out. Over here I have, this is basically a wash basin. It has the towels. I'm going to wash my dishes in this. It's got a scrub pad in there as well, and I can use this as a makeshift sink. Right here I have 3 7-gallon jugs of water. They have a hand pump here at the campgrounds that I fill these with, and it's good for drinking. So I'll take a peek at these, and you can see these are labeled as well. Cleaning water, hands and dishes, and then I also have the drinking water. So you want to get those labeled. Really helps out. Dish soap. Extra, well, I already covered the water, but now I have a makeshift stick, and you only want to bring a bunch of rope with you. Very handy. You can make all kinds of cool stuff. Clothesline, a hanger for your paper towel, and so on. So here's some extra citronella oil on the ground here. You want to make sure you know how many ounces each canister is and plan accordingly. These are priceless, especially with all these bugs. Cookware, you can figure out what you're eating and then bring what you would like. I brought some coffee. I have an old school percolator pot there, and that works out great for me. Cookware and general supplies, that's kind of like my junk drawer. Okay. Flashlight on the tree here. You want to position these maybe around the campsite if you have a few of them when it gets dark at night, especially in such a well covered campsite like this. gets very dark a lot earlier than you might think. So you're gonna need some light. Going back to the picnic table, I have basic utensils. Can opener, very important. Bag clip, toothpicks, forks, knives. Make sure you bring a knife that's real good for cutting. You don't need a big butcher knife, but something that's going to cut instead of a butter knife would be beneficial. Got rigging hooks here. That is what is holding up all of our cookware. So, very, very cool stuff. I think I got these from Harbor Freight, pretty cheap. I have a propane gas grill. One canister gives you about an hour's worth of cooking, a 1 pound canister. I paid like $36 for this thing. So it's got 2 burners on it. Really good for that percolator coffee pot I just showed you. I have 2 coolers. These are not labeled, but one is for food, one is for drinks. So, pretty self-explanatory. You also want to make sure you have a good supply of ice in them and access to ice in the area if you plan on bringing things that need refrigeration. A couple other things that I brought: lighting and batteries. Make sure you have enough. And then rigging. You got your rope in here. You got some zip ties, emergency rain ponchos, matches. Let's see what else is in there. Oh yeah, fire starters. Some people, hey, I don't have enough newspaper or whatever. I just get the fire starters. They're not that expensive. It comes in various sizes and types, but yeah. So you see here, there's a few bags of food. You want to store your food in the vehicles at night. In this area, there have been recent bear sightings, so you don't want to be sleeping with your food. You can figure that one out. So, on the topic of a bear, when you get to camp, you're going to want to do some walking at some point. Well, find a stick, especially if you're camping by yourself. This is my bear stick. Okay, so yeah, the idea is, you move this movie out there, it's called The Edge, I think it is. He lays down on the ground, and then the bear fell on top of him and killed the bear. So, I don't think this is going to work at 4 foot, but you know what? It makes me feel a little bit safer, even if it's a false sense. But anyhow, bear stick, walking stick, always good to have. So, the last thing I'm going to show you is the porta potty. Now, just so you know, there are some bathrooms right across. They're just vault style toilets. No lights in them or anything. So again, lighting's important. Bring that with you. Not too far. But you know what? I went through all the trouble of bringing my porta potty and my tent, so I set it up. Whatever, right? So this is a tent I think I got off Amazon for like 30 bucks. Put a ground cloth underneath. Tarps. Tarps is a big thing. You obviously want a tarp underneath your tent. Helps protect your tent and helps with drainage from water. Same thing with this. Inside here, you're going to find a couple things. We have the toilet. I have some wet wipes for myself here. We don't need to cover that. So I labeled everything. Yeah, a little OCD, right? Stop, keep lid closed. Careful of the porta potties. Apparently these things build up pressure in the bottom tank. And if you open this up, it hasn't been used yet, by the way. Never. It's brand new. If you open this right now, oh, see, look at that. That's just water. It pressurizes and turns into a geyser. So I put signage on here to remind myself to keep lid closed. Number 1, pull handle to open vent door. This way, contains it. And down here I got a Folgers can that I labeled toilet paper storage. You got morning dew that will soak your toilet paper, and that's pretty much useless at that point in the early morning hours. And then I have a jug of water. The jug of water is to do some extra flushing. This really isn't meant for a number 2, if you know what I mean. And if you do number 2, this flusher has a little water in there, but unless you're a spectacular aim, precision pooper, you know what? Use the jug. Helps rinse it down. Or you could just use the vault toilet 20 feet to my right. Anyhow, that's the porta potty. That's a lot of information. Put some signage on there. Yeah, that's cool. That's right. Please be sure to close this lid. Use the water jug for extra flushing needs. Anyhow, that's a lot of information on my porta potty. I guess I'm just proud of it. And I think that's it for gear. So I want to thank you for watching. And if you found this information useful, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. It all really does make a big difference to us. Till next time, take care of yourself.